How are we doing, Utah County? What an amazing time to be alive. Dark times bring out great men and women, and we are in those times. This is an amazing time to be alive. This is an amazing experience. Look at this. We the people are awake. We've had enough. We've been silenced. We've been censored. We've had God replaced by a federal government. We've been told our children have to ask permission to breathe fresh air. We have a government that tells us whether or not our businesses can stay open. 2022, it's not a red wave that's coming, it is a patriot wave. We are going to clean house, not just the left, but the rhinos. This is the state where Cleon Skousen, Ezra Taft Benson, this is the state of the Constitution. And this is the state that is going to lead the nation in defending that sacred document. We know what's at stake. And you and I were sent for such a time as this. The Constitution will be saved. I believe it with every bit of my heart. I believe the light of liberty will be reignited right here, right now, today. Thank you for being here. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless Utah.
Yeah!
My name is Chris Harrod. It's great to be home. Like many of you, I'm greatly concerned about the direction of this country. I have great concern when we elect leaders that fail to understand that being energy independent is a national security issue. There's a reason that Putin has spent $95 million lobbying Western Europe to keep its green energy, because it does not work and we cannot rely on it. It's great for a side, but it does not do everything. I'm greatly concerned that we're in the process of committing national suicide. When we refused to address the national debt, when we've refused to protect our borders, stop fentanyl from coming across the border, our enemies see that as weakness. When we fail to forbid critical race theory from being taught to our children, our enemies see that as weakness. There is no country in the world that has done more to bring various races, ethnicities, and groups in relative peace as the United States has. We must teach our children that America is good. For me, this race is personal, not only because I hate $5 a gallon gasoline, but many of you know that my wife is from the Ukraine. And my day consists now of a phone call once a day to make sure that my mother and father-in-law are alive. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We have Republicans that did not support the previous president, because if President Trump were still in office, what's happening in Ukraine would not have happened. My name is Chris Harris. Come to my booth, ask me any question you want, and I'll give you my answer. Thank you very much.
Boo!
Hello, Utah County. It's great to be with you. During the last 4 weeks, I've held 30 delegate meetings and traveled the district, and I hear this constant theme from you. You want a fighter in Washington, D.C. Higher gas prices at the pump and in the store, runaway inflation are all examples of the federal government out of control. But don't worry, President Biden has it under control. Here's his plan for inflation. I'm going to give you more money so you can afford the higher prices.
In Washington, D.C., Joe Biden's being compared to Jimmy Carter. Word on the street is Jimmy Carter doesn't like it. I share your worry, and I'm honored for the opportunity to represent you in Congress. Now, I've only got just a few precious seconds, but I want to tell you what I'm doing about gas prices, inflation, and out-of-control spending. I've done more in Washington, D.C. to push back on Biden's out-of-control energy policy than anyone in Congress. But that's not enough, because I'm one vote and one voice. I've pulled together a coalition of 75 House Republicans. It's a third of all Republicans. We're now the second largest caucus on energy in Washington, D.C. of any caucus. Our voice is loud and never more important. Biden's energy policy that pretends to save the planet not only defies science, but it puts national security at risk. It destroys our economy, and in the end, it pumps out more emissions than ever before in history. That's right. President Trump, emissions went down. President Biden, emissions went up. I'll continue your fight against runaway spending that does not reflect Utah values. No on omnibus bills that spend trillions of dollars, 2,700 pages with hours to vote on it. No on free health care. No on free education that we know isn't free. And no to members of Congress who feel like they should get paid if we shut down. My work, No Paid Bill, may not be the most popular yet, but it's the right thing to do. You want a fighter in Washington, D.C. I'm not only a fighter, I get things done. Thank you very much.
Hello, Utah County. Hope you're having a great day. My name's Tim Alders. Some of you might know me. I've spent years shining the light on corruption in Washington on the radio, and I'd love to do it in Washington, D.C. America, 50 free and independent states, bound by a constitution to protect your rights and your children's rights and our grandchildren. Washington, who ignores our constitutional republic, ignores the Constitution, has made us pay higher prices in the gas. We're not energy independent, we're not food independent, we're not manufacturing independent, and we have supported every enemy that turned against America by arming them against our children and our grandchildren. We have a choice. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We have to turn the tide. But we can't do that from the radio. We can't do that from our houses. We have to do that by participating in change. You can spend 20 minutes with me, 30 minutes with me, ask me any issue. But right now we have issues with the NDAA. We have people being detained by our government with no due process because Congress voted for it. They fund it every time. We have people violating our civil liberties, but they want to take our children to war. Folks, it's time for that change. It's time to do something different. It's time for Tim Alders. Thank you so much. Come see me.
Okay, one more bracket here. Then we have round two, don't worry. So, pull out your ballots. We will be using green Utah County Clerk, green Utah County Clerk, and pink Utah County Auditor, pink Utah County Auditor. Okay, raise your green Utah County Clerk up.
Need to be so defensive. Thanks for letting me do. Yeah, I'd love to get
Okay,
you
raise
on
your
camera
pink
and talk
Utah
about that a
County
little bit.
Auditor up. Okay, awesome. We will start with the clerk's race, and the order will be Heidi Baldry, Russ Rampton, and Aaron Davidson. Heidi, come on up.
Green clerk and pink. Audible. Here. Cool, thank you.
Good morning, my friends and fellow Republicans. It is great to look out and see so many good-looking faces. Thank you for taking your time today to participate, for your dedication, and thank you for your patriotism. A few years ago, Bloomberg News came to Utah asking the question, quote, how does Utah keep the American dream alive, unquote. They just couldn't quite figure out how our little state worked so well. Well, I know how Utah keeps the American dream alive. I know who keeps the American dream alive. I'm looking at them right now. You are the reason that Utah is the best run state in America. Now, I know that Saturday is a special day, so I promise to keep my remarks brief. I'm here to ask for your support to be your next Utah County Clerk, a job which has a variety of tasks that help keep the government running from day to day. We do a lot of things in the background without anyone having to pay attention to them. However, the clerk also has one very, very important job. Clerks are in charge of making sure elections are run efficiently and honestly. Elections are the foundation of our republic. If bad actors undermine our elections, they sabotage our whole system. Now, for the longest time, we assumed that our elections were perfectly honest and fair. We assumed everything just went on in the background without us having to pay attention to them. But as we've come to find out, some very bad people have been paying attention. These lawbreakers, Democrats, know the old adage. It's not how people vote that counts. It's the people that count the votes. For far too long, Americans' trusting nature has gotten the better of us. We have learned by sad experience that we can't be as trusting as we'd like to be. Our elections are very vulnerable. Literally, every other democracy on the planet has stricter voter integrity measures than we do. Canada has stricter voter security than we do. India has stricter voter security than we do. And before Biden gave it back to the Taliban, Afghanistan had better security than we do. Now we're fighting back. There were a multitude of bills in the legislature this year to improve voter security in Utah. Lawmakers are doing their part, and if you elect me as your clerk, I will do my part to enforce those laws. If Democrats want to steal elections here, we'll have to try a lot harder than they do in places like Chicago and Los Angeles. Utah is the best run state in the country. We keep the American dream alive, and we're going to continue doing that. The future is too important to be content with the status quo. I'm Heidi Baldery, and I ask for your vote to be your next Utah County Clerk.
Our founding fathers wisely separated government powers with checks and balances on one another. Over time, other institutions provided additional checks on government power. Citizens and journalists keep a watchful eye on the government. Think tanks research policy, and their lobbyists advocate for changes in the law. Protests bring attention to injustices. And our public discourse is better for all of these voices, and our public policy is better for their contributions. But when it comes time to choose a county clerk, the position should not be filled by political protesters or professional partisans. It should be filled by someone who understands and will administer the law. When sworn into office, the next clerk of Utah County will promise to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Utah. They will also promise to discharge the duties of their office with fidelity. With fidelity. Fidelity is the quality of faithfulness, of being true to a trust. For the next county clerk, fidelity means being true to the law requiring a ballot be sent to every active registered voter. Fidelity means being true to the requirements of constant updates and regular audits of the voter rolls, publicly held accuracy tests on all elections equipment, and the required post-elections audits. Fidelity means being true to the process of presenting the results of these and other election activities in a public meeting to the Board of Canvassers, who then certifies the election. Fidelity means being true to the principles of security and transparency so that all voters can have confidence in the outcome of elections. Fidelity to the oath of office supersedes any individual's own policy agenda. The county clerk must be focused on defending, preserving, protecting, and securing your rights. And they can't be focused only on securing the rights of the people who vote for them. They must also be focused on securing the rights of the people who voted against them, and the rights of people who don't even vote at all. As a delegate, you have also been trusted by your neighbors to select a Republican nominee for Utah County Clerk. I ask you to discharge your duty today with fidelity. And that means that you select the person who is most able to offer you unfettered access to government records, and select the person who can continue to make Utah County's elections free, fair, safe, and secure. Les Grant for Utah County Clerk.
Yeah!
So thank you very much. My name is Aaron Davidson, and I'm running for county clerk, and I am guilty of being that protester that wants to take office. So I've got a question for you. Actually, I want to make a statement first. There's a well-known statement, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So how many here are first-time delegates? Why are you here? Are you here because it's broken? I think the voting process in some aspects is broken, and I'm here to fix it. I'm not going to let it go on the way it is right now. It has to be fixed. And why do I feel like I'm qualified to do that? I have 2 master's degrees, one I have my MBA in finance, but more importantly, I have a master's in accountancy with an emphasis in information systems. I have worked for Price Waterhouse. I have done systems implementations. I know data. I can dissect data. I can find out what's wrong with our voter rolls. I believe it's the voter rolls that is the beginning of the problem. I won't go into the county clerk and try and put patches on the symptoms of the problem. I want to attack and find the problem, find the issue, and get to the bottom of why there's so much voter insecurity and what's happening right now. This has to be done, and I believe that I am the candidate that can do that because I've done it. I know how to do data. There's other things. If you ever try to find data on the commissioner's website, all of the records on the website are image files. If you want to find something in the minutes of a past meeting, you have to read the whole document because it's an image. That needs to be changed. That has to be searchable and it has to be transparent.
Yeah!
Those should be searchable, readable files, and I'll make sure that moving forward they are readable and searchable and start working on the past. I am against universal mail-in ballots. I am not only not for it, I am adamantly against it. That has to be changed, and I have some ideas of how to get that changed. Working in coalition with other county clerks that want to do that, and go and approach the legislature as a unit, as a coalition, to get that changed back to in-person voting. I am also against ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting is good in theory. It might work with 3 candidates, but anything more than 3 candidates, it just falls apart. So hopefully you had a chance to look at my website. It's all there, but you're voting really quick, so you don't have time to look at that anymore. But please, I would ask for your vote for Aaron Davidson for county clerk. Thank you.
Yeah!
Okay, so hold that green Utah County Clerk ballot handy, and we will move on to the auditor's race. The pink Utah County Auditor ballot is what we're moving to. Our speaking order will be Rod Mann, Taylor Williams, and Rudy Livingston. Rod, come on up.
Hi, my name is Rod Jones. Thank you for being here. Man, do this. First thing I have to do is thank my wife. I'm a better person, I'm a better man, I'm a better candidate. She is the better half. And I think we need to give an applause for all the candidates' families and wives who allow them to run through the hard work. I'm running for auditor to bring increased transparency to the office, long-term planning, and most importantly, protecting your part of the tax dollars. I have a proven conservative track record of leadership and communication as a member of City Council and Mayor of Highland City. As mayor, two of my highest priorities were transparency and long-term planning. Upon my retirement as Highlands Mayor in January, I left the city better than I found it. Our finances were stronger. We did not add any debt. Our parks, trails, and roads were better. I successfully fought to complete an east-west connector road in Highland that had been planned for 40 years. I helped make that happen. There was less contention in our city because we were more transparent. We learned that when significant issues arise, move slowly. Seek resident input early before decisions are made. We use open houses, city surveys, and social media. We made it happen, and I helped lead that effort. The functions that will be in the auditor's office are well organized today. We have strong financial services teams led by a highly qualified director and good managers overseeing budget, purchasing, accounting, and internal audit. As your auditor, I do not need to micromanage, but I can add value by providing leadership, different perspectives, and ensuring that the office has the resources it needs. I can add value to the county by finding better ways to share information with you and finding ways to get your input into the county government. I will be independent of anyone. And I have a track record of doing that, and I will be a good steward of your dollars. I bring a proven track record of avoiding new debt through improved planning and trust that has been earned because I do my homework. My decisions are based on conservative principles. For example, when mayors were given the power to implement a mask mandate, I said no. As an auditor, I will stand up for conservative principles. I am the man for the job, and I ask for your vote for county auditor.
Good afternoon, delegates. It is such an honor and privilege to be here. My name is Phil Wright. I'm the Executive Director of Keep My Voice. I'm here today on my personal accord to give my personal endorsement to the man who I believe would be your best choice for Utah County Auditor. I'm also excited to let you know I live in Utah County. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for doing your part as delegates. When Taylor worked with me at Keep My Voice, he was my right-hand person. He managed all of our finances, hundreds of thousands of dollars. He helped me and stood by my side as we traveled the state and the country, organizing even other political parties to defend this Utah caucus system all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Thank you so much for making a difference, for vetting candidates. I can assure you, if you choose Taylor Williams, you will not regret choosing Taylor Williams, as some of us may have for previous candidates who represent our state of Utah. I also want to remind you one last thing. As delegates, we are not looking for candidates who want to run as Republicans. We are looking for Republicans who want to run as our candidates. Taylor Williams is that Republican. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Anybody that knows Phil is well aware of his years of fighting for the Republican Party. I'm also grateful to be joined by my wife and my youngest daughter. I was going to bring my 3 other kids, but they would just run around the stage, so I brought the one that can't walk. Aside from 2 years in Mexico, I've spent my whole life in Utah County, and this is a place that I love as much as I love this great country. In speaking to countless delegates, it is clear to me that you want conservative champions who will fight for conservative causes. In 2018, a group tried to ban our caucus convention system by spending millions of dollars. I led the team that went door to door and saved it so we can be here today. In 2020, a proposition tried to change our form of county government. I worked against that proposition because it didn't align with the principles that I believed in when I studied constitutional law in college. Limited balanced government is built on good systems like the U.S. Constitution. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say that they wish government was run more like a business. I am pleased to report that we are doing just that in the County Auditor's Office. We have focused on data-driven decision-making, on cost savings, and on improving efficiency. As a leader in the office, I focus my efforts on bringing government out of the 1980s and into the 21st century. We live in some scary financial times, and now is the time for us to prepare for the financial hardships that I believe are coming down the pike. I'm grateful for the formal endorsement of the current auditor, Josh Daniels, and the previous auditor, Amelia Powers Gardner, and they believe that I will do just that. My name is Taylor Williams, and I ask for your vote.
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
Wow, this is awesome to be here. My name is Rudy Livingston, and I am truly a conservative Republican here to take care of business. I have been relentless in explaining that the auditor is the chief financial officer for the county and should only be entrusted to a seasoned government financial professional. I am the only candidate with finance experience, and the only one who completely understands the auditor's responsibilities. The auditor's primary duties are budgeting, accounting, and internal audit. This is a financial position, not a political or administrative position, period. As a CPA specializing in local government finance for the past 25 years, and with strong executive leadership experience and good communication skills, I am ready to perform the auditor's duties at the highest level, and I constantly improve our operation. I am on a mission to bring complete transparency to county finances. I start with the budget, where we will provide valuable information to each operating function of the county. Watch for the 23 budget, you're going to have that. This is only the beginning. I was licensed as a CPA in California and Arizona. I have dedicated the past 25 years of my career to government service, including 2 years with Utah County. Now, living in other states has shown me how liberal ideas can ruin a state. I witnessed liberal-minded people destroying the once conservative state governed by Ronald Reagan, where I grew up. They tried to silence my voice, but that only made me fight harder for conservatism and freedom. Now I am here to fight for our conservative values in Utah County. Let me share a few personal things and why I'm so committed to Utah County. I have been married for more than 38 years, and 3 of our children and 4 grandchildren live in Utah County. Since graduating from BYU, we always wanted to come back, and now I am so grateful that my parents live with me, and we intend to live in our American Fork home the rest of our lives. My Utah ties go way back to Erastus Snow, who entered the Salt Lake Valley with the First Advance Company of Pioneers. My 6th great-grandfather lost his arm blasting stone in the Salt Lake Temple Quarry, and my great-grandfather was born just up the road here in Lehigh. I first lived in Provo as a missionary preparing to be a missionary, and I came back, and our oldest son was born in Bourne Community Hospital. My mother came to the United States from war-torn Holland, and our family has always cherished freedom in our country. My mom recently told me that she cries every time she stands before our flag and pledges allegiance.
I love to stand before the flag and sing the national anthem. My accomplishments as budget manager are paying dividends now to safeguard your tax dollars. I am Rudy Livingston. I am your next daughter.